Today I'm going to show you how to use Tinkercad to make the fantastic stackable happy crab. So let's get cracking. This is the stackable happy crab. It was created by Furix in 2013. Today we're going to build it with the Tinkercad sketch tool. Here you can see what the little fellas look like when they are stacked. Of course, it is the claw and the eyes that make this all work. Once again, shout out to Furix for the original design. You can also find a link to the design in the description. To speed us up a little bit, we're going to start with a template. You can get to it by typing bit.ly/crab temp for template. This takes you to the Happy Crab template. Of course, it is set to copy and tinker, so don't forget the golden rule of Tinkercad. Give a reaction before you copy and tinker. Step one for me is to always rename it. Notice this says copy of. That means you did the copy and tinker correctly. I'm also going to get rid of the word template. Note, if this is your first time using Tinkercad, I've got a ton of day one tutorials. You can find them using this playlist right here. When you use copy and tinker, you get an exact copy of my design. This is the adorable happy crab. Don't forget you can find it this Thingiverse project. And once again, I want to thank Furix for creating it. Today we're going to build though with the sketch tool. I'm going to drop this in a 20 by 20 grid right below our happy crab. If you've never seen Sketch before, don't forget to check out the Sketch features. These are updated all the time. They have amazing skills that'll make you more talented as a Tinkercad sketch artist. Of course, when you're done, hit the X to back out. If you prefer my tutorials, I've got a full playlist you can find right here. I'm going to press in my mouse button and we're going to simply build the body of this crab using the Sketch tool. Click down here close to this corner, come close up here. I'm going to hit number 2 so I can bend around this body. I'm going to just click, hold, and twist so it's similar. I don't need it to be perfect, just similar. Move up here to the top, click across. I'm going to keep this one straight. Little bend here. Because we're in curve mode, we can click, hold, and twist. Once again, I want to stress we're just getting close for this. These guys look fantastic no matter how you do it. When you're done, we simply double click and we're going to adjust them to make them a little more smooth. Notice this curve, I can click on it and they adjust symmetrically. I'm using the arrow keys to adjust them. If you want them to be separate, hit number 3 so it is a broken curve. Now I can adjust this one with the arrow keys while that one stays the way it was. If you keep these close to straight up and down, we get a smooth curve around that spot. This is where you need to pick which kind of curve you want. I'm going to hit number 3 so that one's broken. That allows me to click this handle and bring it down. I'm going to hit 3 for this one as well. And now I can stretch this side out. Notice if these are ever in your way, you can simply hide them with that or the shortcut on the screen. And I'm going to simply just bend these like this. If you ever want something to be a straight line, you can hit 1. I'm going to do Control Z because I prefer it bending like it was. Let's see if I can just smooth this with a twist. No. So I'm going to hit number 3 and just adjust them so that they're close to the same line. And that way it looks a little smoother as it goes around there. That one up, this one down. This is what I mean by these being kind of straight. And then I can tweak this to get the curve I want. Notice they stretch out or they rotate, whichever you want, as you build your crab shape. I'm going to call that good. Double click finish and let's make a claw. And I'm just going to make this piece up here. I'll show you why in a minute. P for pen. I'm going to click out here, press number 2. And when I do this, I can click, hold, and twist. Notice how easy it is to come close to the claw shape. Once again, go up to this point, click, hold, and twist. I'm real close to that claw shape. This twist is hard to make, so I'm going to do number 1, and I'm going to just do a tiny nudge this way. Now when I press number 2, I can bend that so it follows that easy. Once again, number 1 to aim this back up. Number 2, and I'm going to go around this corner, click, hold, and twist. Got that back on the way I want. And then I'm going to just come down here, click, hold, and twist to get that close to that shape. Now we can double click and click on these points to adjust them where they need to be. Once again, if you keep these smooth, it's pretty easy to get them where you want. Click, twist a couple, nudge a couple, and of course, if you want them independent, hit number 3, and it only moves that one. There's no need to be absolutely perfect. We just need this area here where the eyeballs can balance on that cliff. If we hit finish sketch accidentally, you can see how that looks. If we double click, we can get back in. And let me show you what we do next. Control C, Control Shift V, move it to the other side, turn your dimensions back on, and we flip it with a negative number. Once again, nudge it into place. If you want to make it a little different, you can click on this and nudge it so it matches. I'm going to grab 3 of those and nudge them. But once again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just need the little claw on both sides. I'm going to move this down here. Once again, this is smooth, so I'm shrinking them both at the same time. But there is our little claw, just like that. Now we can connect the parts. Once again, double click to finish, P for pen. I'm going to click to start it here, and I'm going to press number 2 to make a little curve that bends a little. Escape, and that one's done. Double click, P for pen. Same thing other side. 2 is the curve, click, hold. You can make it twist a little bit, hit escape to finish. Now let's make the eye. Once again, P for pen. And this time I'm going to just kind of make a diamond that fits this. Notice I'm clicking down here, this side, this side, this side, and then finishing it. Double click, and it auto smooths and almost instantly makes the perfect eye. I can click on the little piece and nudge it where it needs to be. And then when I'm happy, Control C, Control Shift V, and move it to the other side. Double click and adjust the points so it fits. Double click to finish, and now it's time for legs. You could trace these like we did with the other sketch, but I'm just going to use P for pen. I'm going to make this piece and hit escape to finish it. And then because I want different thicknesses, I'm going to do P for pen again. I'm going to start from inside this shape and move down here and hit escape to finish it. Now I can click on this one and I can change its width to say 3 or 2.5. And I'm also going to give it the round end that makes it look a little bit more cool. You can adjust where it goes a little bit. Once again, flex those numbers. And then I'm going to simply reuse these parts for every piece. Simply use Control C and Control V to nudge and edit until you've got these exactly as you wish. And then I'm just going to repeat these steps for the other side. Notice I can Shift select these 4 pieces, Control C, Control V, Shift nudge to move it to the other side. And while it is all selected, we're just going to hit negative to flip it. Then simply nudge and adjust till we're happy. Just like that, friends, we have built a happy crab. I'm going to take the tan one and hide it so you can see how cute he looks. This is also a good time to adjust those legs. Notice if we just zoom in, make them so they connect at the top like you'd want. And when you're happy, hit finish sketch. Bingo, a fun happy crab. Of course, if you want anything more rounded, this is the time where you can adjust that. Say I want this bottom to not be straight. I'm going to click on this single point and hit 2. And then I'm going to hit 3 to break it. I want that to go right there. And I'm going to just give this a tiny bend. Right over here, 3 as well. And just give it a tiny bend. Just makes it look a little more smooth. And now we're going to bring out sketch again. Drop it right below. Zoom up so we can see our little fella. P for pen, and let's make the cool eyes. If you hit number 2, we can click and just do a tiny bend like that. Hit escape. Change the stroke to something like 1.2. And of course, give it the cute little round ends. Control C, Control V, shift nudge to get that to the other side and move it into place. If you grab the points, you can adjust them so they look just the way you want. Finally, let's give them a smile. Double click to finish that one. P for pen. I'm going to click up here and press number 2. I'm going to go down to the middle, click up, then I'm going to go back down close to that middle, give it a little twist and a little twist. Double click and edit. Make sure you've got these to the smoothness that you want. Of course, nudging with the arrow keys is a super slick trick, but you can make that smile however you like. Hit finish sketch and turn that into a hole. Grab it all and do Control G to union group. Bang! We have just made a fantastic sketch tool, Happy Crab. Currently, this little fella is 10 millimeters thick. I like to print them at 6 millimeters thick. That way they print a little faster. Let's choose Export as an STL. And of course, it'll store with the Happy Crab name, and let's save it. Today, we're gonna print with the awesome Prusa Core 1 Plus. Let's hit Add and find our file. Let's bring the little fella in, and remember I made this 6 millimeters thick. I'm gonna choose to print it at 8 millimeters. So we're just hitting scale. I am unlocking the scale factors. That allows me to simply change this one without adjusting the others. There is my 8 millimeters thick. Now I want more of these. I'm gonna hit plus to give me a couple of them. Do Control A to grab them all, and let's arrange them. I have switched to my Elegoo Rapid PLA Plus, and we're gonna use the 0.2 speed settings. If we hit Slice Plate, you can see we're looking about 28 minutes for the full process. Let's send it to connect. Once again, Rapid PLA Plus. Let's set it to ready and print it right now. And of course, less than 30 minutes later, we have got awesome little Happy Crabs. Of course, let's snatch them up and go test them. And of course, here they are. This is an original one. This is one of our new ones. Notice they made them the thicker size, and they still all fit just like you'd expect. Bang! Happy Crab statues. How cool is that? All right, so let's wrap up quickly. First things first, we brought in a file. I did that for you, and then I shared the template, and then we simply traced it with Sketch. Now, we used Sketch in several ways. First, we went around it with some curves, came back, and then adjusted it. Don't forget using those arrow keys to twist and smooth is a lot easier than dragging the handles with your mouse. Of course, we also took a single piece and we flipped it to put it to the other side. And then finally, we drew connecting lines, super simple, using Sketch and then the stroke features. It made that project super simple, and hopefully you can use that in many of your upcoming projects. Of course, I do want to highlight that these are super fun for classrooms. Being able to print a few of these for each student is awesome, and they print fast, and they turn out a little bit custom because the eyes and the mouth can look different for every student. And of course, I am loving the print results with the Prusa Core 1 Plus. I do want to quickly say thank you to everybody that supports me via YouTube memberships. Don't forget there are 3 levels of support starting as low as $5 a month. With any level of support, you get early access to videos. Also, make sure you pay attention for those members-only posts. A massive shout out as well to everybody that supports me via Patreon. Love how that group is growing. We've got a fantastic free messaging area where you can post designs, ask questions, gain skills. Of course, you can learn more with the bit.ly up above or the link in the description. Finally, friends, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget every time you like, hype, share a video, add a comment down below, or click subscribe, you're helping HLModTech get just a little bigger, which absolutely makes my day. Friends, have a glorious day and keep tinkering.